And we're live. Very good. Well, happy Halloween. We've got Scott here from Jones. And Scott, tell me about your costume. Who are you today?
I am a cowboy. I'm a compliance cowboy.
Oh,
Compliance
nice.
cowboy.
I like that. That wasn't in the dry run, by the way. Um,
I just came up with it.
yeah, it's perfect. So I'm my favorite Minnie Mouse. You can't exactly see my whole costume, but we'll cry about that later. So very good, very good. So, Scott, tell me, where are you calling in from today?
So I am in Chicago right now. Our company is based in New York. We actually have offices all over the world. But
Nice.
I'm in Chicago, but I work out of our New York office. So I'm back and forth to New York every few weeks. But we have an office in El Salvador. We have an office in Tel Aviv, Israel. We have an
Oh,
office in Brazil. And we
nice.
have people scattered all over the place.
That's really awesome. I had no idea that you guys had offices in that spread out. That's pretty rad.
Yeah, yeah. I think we have some people all over the place. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very
Where
good.
where
Very
where are
good.
you, Maria? I know where you are, but I want the audience to.
But you want me to so I live in the state that has the number one as far as different types of endemic species. So for anybody who doesn't know, that is Alabama. And that's my claim to fame is that we've got so much biodiversity that we're number one for endemic species. So that's where I like to be. And I almost forgot, I've got to shout out Jennifer Lacey because that's where I got my awesome ears from that match my costume here. So thank you, Jennifer. I found them and I was responsible enough to put them with the costume. So I get some mom points today. Yeah. Very, very good. Well, I think that's enough shooting this stuff. Did you want to go ahead and get in there? You got anything else
Yeah,
to
no,
shoot?
I
You
just
like what I did
this
there,
is this
Cowboy?
is this is my first time using this software. I usually use like Zoom or something. So I don't know. I want to be
Mm.
as interactive as possible. So on my end, there's like a chat button. But people listening, if you have a chat, feel free to chat, ask questions. I want this to be a two-way. I don't want this to be like a high school math class where I'm just giving a lecture. Right? I want folks just chime in with your questions and like there's going to be a Q&A at the end, but just feel free to drop
Mhm.
lines and I can try to answer them while I go and have fun.
Yeah, great point. So we definitely will have some time at the end for dedicated specifically to questions and answers. And we love to have your questions while we're doing things because that kind of helps flesh out details for us and to bring them to you guys. And so remember, if you're asking a question or have a question, somebody else probably has that same question too. So it's up to you to make sure that it gets asked and then everybody gets the answer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Very good. And if anybody feels really proud or just in general wants to shout out where they're listening in from today, then go ahead and drop that for us in the comments too.
And just to add to what Maria said, if you can just drop in where you're listening from and what your Halloween costume is for later
Oh,
tonight or for this weekend or whenever you celebrate the festivity.
I love that. Yes, we want to know what your Halloween costume is. Obviously, I'm actually Minnie Mouse by day, but I didn't tell you this, Scott. I think I'm going to be Morticia Adams by night. Yeah, it's the hair, right? It's so long. I might as well. It's a built-in costume.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, very good. So here's our first one. Who is Jones? Tell us.
Yeah, so Jones is a software company. We've been around
Oops.
for maybe half a decade now, or actually a little bit more. And we help companies. We actually work in the real estate space and in the construction space, but for the purpose of this call, I'll just stick to construction.
Mhm.
We do have really awesome commercial real estate companies that work with us. I love throwing out the Empire State Building because it's like
Oh,
one of the
wow.
most famous. Yeah. So every tenant occupying space in the Empire State Building. It's funny sometimes like family and friends who are a little bit not in the industry. They're like, "What do you do?" And I was like, "Well, the Empire State Building is a great example, right? Because because every window washer, electrician, plumber, even people who are like watering the flowers, like coming in and just doing small tasks, they need to show that they have insurance because it's liability, right? Everyone wants to sue the Empire State Building because they know that they have big pockets. So like
good
we're
retirement
like
plan. Yeah.
We're like the gatekeepers of the Empire State Building, right? So if you want to lease space in there, if you or want to do any type of work in there, you work for a tenant or work for the building itself, window washers are probably one of the most high risk, but even watering plants, like we are the software that is the gatekeeper, right? So you have to have a certificate of insurance, you upload it into our system, and then we say they're compliant to come to the Empire State Building or they're not compliant to come to the Empire State Building. And if they're not compliant, we'll work with that vendor to help them get to compliance. But basically, thinking into that'll be the last I talk about our real estate side of the business. I'll spend the rest of the next 45 minutes or so talking about construction because I know that's what this audience is interested in. And it's not like we are a real estate tech company and just do construction on the side. Like we are a real estate, we call it the built world, right? So construction, real estate equal. That's what we're designed for. We help the construction companies with the collection, with the review, and with the management of the subcontractor insurance documents. So when you're building something, you have a bunch of subcontractors working on the project. We make sure that they are compliant to actually be working on the project. And we automate it all. So it's not just, we look at the certificates of insurance, we verify the endorsements, we even verify languages within the policies. So we are like the one-stop shop to making sure subcontractors are compliant.
Okay, awesome. It looks like we may have lost. There he is.
Oh.
You froze for a second.
Oh, no.
I think you were at Trade Partners.
Oh, yeah. You basically just want to make sure that your subcontractors are compliant before they start working on projects. You don't want to expose your company to risks, and that's where we come in.
Okay, very good. That's awesome. All right. And so that kind of covers too a little bit, because my next question was, what exactly do y'all do? So does that kind of sum it up in one little package?
I think we have more into the nuts and bolts. That might be a good segue because I'm going to go through a demo later, but I can basically like what we actually do is that let me ask the audience, and you can feel free to chat in there. Is anyone here working with managing the subcontractor insurance documents for projects? You could be doing it on Excel, maybe, or maybe you're doing it manually. Maybe you're using other partners. Feel free to chime in there if anyone is. But basically, if you're doing this manually or whatnot, this will resonate to you.
Yeah, definitely.
We automate the outreach to the subcontractors. We collect their insurance documents, and it's very easy for the subcontractors to upload their insurance documents with us. We have a very simple no login form. We verify their insurance documents in under 24 hours, which is a one of the unique things about our company. We do it very quickly because we know that you want to get the subcontractors working as soon as time. And then if they're not compliant, then we work with the subcontractors to get their insurance to compliance. But then I guess the last thing I'll say is that we integrate with like one of the reasons why people choose us over some of our other competitors in the space is that, we integrate with where you want to be. So we integrate with Procore, we integrate with, CMIC accounting softwares, and we make it very easy to do this workflow where you're working.
Nice. Let me ask you, can you hear the yard folks on the feedback?
A little, slightly.
A little bit. Okay, I appreciate your honesty. Let me go over, and our master plan to keep the cat happy has now been foiled. So I'm going to close the door, and I'll be right.
It's not that It's a very faint sound, but whatever you want to.
Well, they're getting closer. Right now they've paused, but they're getting closer to, that's a really spooky thing for Halloween, right? They're getting closer. So I'm gonna shut that off for us. It's not so much maybe the video, but it's affecting me. So
yeah, no, go for it. I can put my mic on mute. Yeah.
BRB. Would you like to tell the people how they can reach out to you? So like, let's say somebody watches the live stream today and then they want to reach out. How do they contact Jones if they're interested in more or a specific demo for them?
Yeah. So here I could write my name in here. That is my name. Did I spell it right? Yes, I did. That's my name. So you can add me on LinkedIn. Let's connect. Or my email, skyjones.com. I just shared it with everyone in there.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah, so add me on LinkedIn. Let's connect. Shoot me an email. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did I privately message that to you? Or no, I think I sent it to the chat, right?
Let's see. It says private chat, but I don't know if it'll show up on the comments. So maybe once we're done, you can just go back to our post for the event and drop that down in there. But if you are on LinkedIn, which is how we're watching this, you could be catching the replay on YouTube later. So go ahead and look up Scott on the LinkedIn and hit connect, or just send him a message if you don't feel comfortable connecting quite yet. I can definitely attest that he's not going to bombard you with marketing and sales and, hey, are you sure you don't want to call us how to do you? So it's only going to be if the fit's right and that you actually want help.
So I actually, and just echoing off of that, I'm the senior product marketing manager here at Jones. I don't know if I even introduced my title. I'm not in sales. So
that's right. Yeah, titles aren't important anyway here.
Titles aren't important. So no, seriously, I love connecting with people in the industry. Like I accept, I'd say 99% of the LinkedIn invites I get. So
yeah, just not the scammers though, right? That's that 1% in there.
Once they try to scam me, I hit the unfriend.
Yeah, that's how you know. That's how you know. So very good, very good. Okay, well, did you have some slides for us today?
Yeah.
Or did you want a demo first?
Yeah. So I have some slides about our financial, like some of the integrations that we work with.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd love to just show everyone here a demo of Jones. And then I could hop into some of the slides. And awesome. I think that y'all can see my screen right now.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. It's been a while since I've done a demo. Like I said, I'm not on the sales team. Sales team, we're doing the demos every day. So here
That's
we
where
go.
all the fun is, right?
Sorry.
That's where all the fun is. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Jones, right? So I just want to preface with that. We have a lot of customers that don't even use. I shouldn't use that. I should say we also integrate with Procore. We integrate with CMIC. So a lot of folks just want to use us in their preferred systems. Like here, I'll show you in Procore.
A quick question while you're clicking, which doesn't take that much time, but can people hook up to more than one place, right? So sometimes people want to send data to Procore, and sometimes they want to send it to Procore and their ERP.
Definitely, yeah. That's one of the great things about us. We have a number of customers who are using like Jones plus another ERP, and Procore is going a little slow. Oh, there we go.
Or the internet connection, right? Could be the network.
Sometimes Procore has its slow moments, but I'll just go back to Jones then. Oh no, here we go. So yeah, so some people only like they use Jones within their Procore environment. So I'm going to first show just Jones as a standalone, Jones as Jones, and then I'm going to go into Procore because I have a feeling that many of the people on this call might use Procore. So cool. So this is, you log in and you see your dashboard, right? This is like what's going on, and I've talked to some customers, like this is the first thing they do. They have their cup of coffee in the morning and they look at like compliance, right? So
That's awesome.
You can look at your projects over here. You can filter by projects, or you can just see whose COIs, whose certificates of insurance or insurance documents have expired, who's compliant, who's not compliant. I'm going to log into a specific project here. So cool. So we can see we have 6 active subcontractors. Right. This is just for our demo purposes. And we have drafts. So you can create subcontractors as drafts. Like if you're not ready to put them on the project yet, you can archive them once they're done. And then, so let's click into one that's compliant, or let's actually click into one that's not compliant. That'll be more interesting. So West, right, this is a subcontractor. They do roofing work. So first, let's take a look at right, the external record ID. This is like the unique identifier that links it to the different integration systems. So in Sage or Vista or whatnot, like this is what, right, West Roofing is characters. This is the data link between the systems. The expiration date is there and it's not compliant. We can scroll down and see why it's not compliant. Right, the certificate holder and the additional insured are correct, but workers' compensation and general liability, there's 2 issues. So we can actually choose to override it. We can say we can waive it, or we can just say that there's been like a master override for management. We can write a reason why we waive it, and then I'm not going to do it for the purpose of this demo, but then it would be compliant, right? It would be waived compliant. We can do a lot of other. We can send the gaps. So once again, I'm not going to do it for the purpose of this demo, but I can just click this button, and West Roofing, who's the contact on file, it's Danielle and Scott Smith. They will get an email and it'll say not compliant, and it'll give them the exact steps of how to fix the compliance. Nice. You can see a log of all the history over here, which is really cool. So when have they been contacted, etc. You can upload other documents for the subcontractor. You can even see team notes. You can see I can write a note, I can tag team members and say, Margaret, what's going on?
What's the deal, Margaret? Let me ask you this, Scott. Will Margaret get an email from that, or is she going to get a task to do inside Jones?
Great question. So she will get an email. We know that email is something that people check all the time. I check it too much. Yeah. She'll get an email, and the email will say log into Jones. We're actually coming up. This is the first time that I'm actually saying it to a lot of people, but we're actually going to be releasing shortly a notification center. So in addition to getting Margaret is tagged, she'll get an email, and then there'll be a notification center where Margaret can see who's tagging her in what. So
nice. Yeah. Nice. All right, Margaret, you get a new opportunity.
Yeah. So yeah, and we have different statuses that make it really easy. So you can see what's compliant, what's expired. You can filter it too. So if I only want to see what's under review, if I only want to see what's expired, I can toggle in there and see what's expired. You can view some really cool dashboards. Let's go into dashboards, right? Well, actually, let's go into reports first. So you can we have a bunch of different reports, right? And various different team members are using these reports for their functions, right? So I know that we have some folks who want to run a report on certain days to see who's compliant, who's not. I know that, we have accounting teams that want to run reports for different reasons. We have management teams that want to see why have subcontractor insurance, but why has it been overridden, or why has it been approved? So coverage gaps is a big one. User management reports. If you just want to see who in your company across all the different projects has access to Jones, you can run a report there. And then you can also schedule them, right? So I can click in here and I could schedule the reports, right? I could say what do we want to schedule? I want every Monday to get a report on this, or every Friday to get a report on this, etc. Then dashboards is really, really cool. We have some of our users don't use this at all, and some of our users, this is the bread and butter of why they use Jones, right? You can see really, really great compliance rates at a stat. What's the records that are requiring attention and not. You can see compliance status. This is great. Your report seeing which subcontractors are expiring every month. So you might know that, August, we have a ton of subcontractors that are going to be coming up on renewal, right? So focus more time on COIs in August, etc. You can look per project right here for the demo. I just have one project, but you can look across multiple projects. And yeah.
That's what I was going to ask is, so like, what if I'm a regional manager and I want to see what's out of whack, or I'm a project manager and I've got 3 or 4 projects and I need to know where the holes are so that I can tell my project accountant that we need to ping the vendor. That's what word I'll use, ping.
Yeah, definitely. For the purpose of this demo, I just have the one project in here, but there's people with tons of projects in here. They can filter it. They can see the status on different projects. You can also go up here and like filter the different projects too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is really for management teams use this a lot. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. We have another feature as well, the account directory. It's not set up so well for this demo purpose, but like you can basically look at like a company and say, here's a company, here's how many projects they're working on, here's what states they're on. So like if you're working across states, you can say, I only want to see the subcontractors in California, for example, right? I only want to see who's working in California, and it tells you who's working in California. So just ways to slice and dice the data makes it really, really easy in here.
Yeah. And everybody loves a good report. So tell me, I saw it was a quiet button and it said create a report. So you can even do custom stuff, right?
Yeah, so we can create custom reports for you. We do that for some of our customers. If what you are seeing right here, if you're seeing like on Jones, like if you want something custom, or if we have like a handful of reports, but if you want something custom, we could build a custom report for you. We do that for a number of our clients. Yeah, because not every company is different. The way that people have their regions structured. I'm sure Maria can talk on this more than I am from all the consulting work that she does. Every company is different, right?
They are. They're different, but they're the same.
Yeah, but the way that they have their data, the way that they like to say things are different. The way that they sometimes issue payments are different.
Yep. Processes, workflows. Everybody's got their certain forms, right? Or anything else like that. And of course, the specific things they like to do in the other platforms. So they might have something else they're doing in the ERP or the Procore.
Yeah, definitely. Another cool thing that you can do is, like, let's say, right, Top Notch Tiles is compliant. I can click right here on the standard requirements, and I can see the requirements that they were audited against, because every project or even every subcontractor could have different insurance requirements that they are vetted against.
The great point. And even per job, right? So it's not just, maybe we've got our trade partner on a couple of different jobs and we've got different requirements.
Yeah, there's inherent like some projects, I know that there's different requirements, like if there needs to be excavation done, or if there needs to, or just the level of risk, right? Like someone doing cleanup on a site is going to have inherently less risk than someone doing I don't know, installing antennas on top of a building, or doing something else crazy in the construction world. So I'll show you. So we can go to add a subcontractor in here, and this is really cool. Let's say Alex Tiles, and you can choose the level of requirements. So I can say I want high risk requirements, or I want standard requirements, or I can even create insurance requirements, right? So you can go in there. Usually people don't do this on the job. Usually people are doing this beforehand. We do that. We can actually look at contracts and like extract the data and create the insurance requirements for you. But there's a lot that you can do in here. So let's just, for this, let's say it's standard.
I know, right? Because now, Scott, I really want you to tell me more about how you can, like Jones can pull the requirements out and create those for us, right? Because I know a lot of people have, because I had a couple of questions, so let's be honest.
Yeah.
The first one was, can we make up our own, right? Those are all customizable. And then tell me a little bit more about how we get Jones to do it for us, right? Because that's helpful. That kind of takes time or gives time back to me, right?
Yeah, definitely. So I wish that I had our implementations team on this call because they are the
Sure.
experts on this, but they're not. So if anyone wants, I'm going to give a very brief answer, but if anyone wants like a more in-depth answer, they can add me on LinkedIn or send me an email, and we can schedule a demo. But we basically, you like Jones, you want to get started with us, and you sign on the dotted line, right? You're a customer. You can give us your contracts, give us you can even like give us an example COI that you're using, or oftentimes your contracts, and then our team can like kind of look at that contract and extract out what is needed, right? So what types of insurance are going to be needed to work on the project, and then we enter it in there for you. So by the time that you're going live on Jones, your different sets of requirements are already live on our system. You have your standard requirements, your high risk requirements. We have some customers with tons of different requirements. We have some with only a few different types of requirements. We have some customers that use blanket insurance requirements. So like they have one set of requirements that a subcontractor can work on throughout the year. And I'm sorry, throughout all projects throughout the year. Some people call them annual requirements because they only need to be updated once a year,
Right.
when the policies expire. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of different types of requirements out there, different sets. People have OSIP and CSIP programs, etc., and have different ways they want to configure it. And our team takes care of it all for you.
Okay, great. So but that was very informative, Scott. So what I heard you say is that we would give you samples, templates, past versions, and then that's something that you guys could do for us ahead of time, and that we don't have to have necessarily somebody in-house that's going to go and click and add each of these requirements. We could, but we could also just ask Jones.
Exactly. Yep. This is why we have a team to do it, to help you get implemented. Once again, I wish I had someone from our implementations team here who could like really talk about it more. But yeah, we take care of it all for you. You just have to give us, contracts, or give us the information, and we extract it. And then at the end of the day, you approve it, right? We're not doing anything without your approval.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Thank you for that.
Yeah, and we also have like a bunch of, because I'm not sure if anyone on this call is like on the risk team or master compliance teams, etc. But we have webinars all the time about like tips of how to structure your requirements. We have some people come to us like, I used to have my subcontractor need different insurance requirements for each project, but after tuning into your webinar, or after reading more of your content, maybe I actually want my subcontractor, I just want to have one blanket insurance policy for all, that my subcontractor can work on like all projects in the state of Florida, for example. So people there, it's fluid. People change them all the time. And yeah.
Awesome.
So I want to show really, really quickly in Jones, I just added a new subcontractor. I'm going to just send an email to myself. Now, if you have, sometimes subcontractors send certificates of insurance over. Like we know that they've been doing it for so many years. They've been working with you. If you have it in an email, you could just drag and drop it right in here, and then our system will upload it. If you don't have their certificate of insurance, which is going to be the case probably 90% of the time, if you don't have their insurance documents, you hit send invitation over here, and then boom, Alex Tiles is instantly created. And now I'm going to go to my email, and in my email, so pretend I'm Alex Tiles, right?
You are.
It's very easy. It can be custom branded. So your general contractor, your construction company, it can be branded with your logo up here and have your address and everything. And it's because we know that the subcontractors are often forwarding this to their insurance brokers or someone else in the company, etc. You just hit click submit docs, And I'm not going to go through the whole process right now, but it's a very simple form where they fill out, they upload their documents. Super, super, super simple, right through that email.
And I love that you can brand that email. That's powerful, because sometimes, let's say that I'm, out there living my best life, and I get tons of emails a day, right? And if I see something called Jones, and that's the only thing on it, then I may not know, or I may not want to click on it, right?
Oh, totally.
Yeah, but if I see that general contractor that I just shook hands with and have a contract with, then I would be like, oh, this is a platform they're using, and I just need to submit my documentation this way. Or, like you pointed out, just forward it to your broker, right? Or whoever it is that's managing that for you. And then they're able to click and upload the document there.
Totally. The no login link makes it really simple. Right. The subcontractors don't have to remember passwords. They don't have to, they're building stuff. They're building the world. They don't have to remember passwords. They don't have to do logins. Yeah. And if there's an issue with the insurance documents and they need to re-log in to do something, I don't have an example on this demo, but if anyone wants, we have videos about it and stuff. Just shoot me an email. They would just go and log in with their email, and then we just send them a 6-digit code. Here's a 6-digit code. Use that to log in. So
nice.
And then we have we call it a record hub, so the subcontractors can see all of the different projects they're working on and the status. It's very, very simple, easy, intuitive, and user friendly for the subcontractors. Yeah. But going back to the logos, I have one more comment is that we've been around for such a while now that we kind of know what works and what doesn't work in terms of collection of getting these COIs collected. And having that logo is so important to boost collection rates, because a lot of times people come to us and they're like, we're having it. Not only are we having an issue with getting the subcontractors' insurance documents, or not only are we having an issue with reviewing them, etc. We can't get the subcontractors to just give it to us, right? Our emails go to spam or whatever, and having that logo there, the custom email domain, and everything, it just helps tremendously.
Yeah, I imagine so. And of course, we definitely have to give that shout out. And I love that your software still allows for the GC, right? Or the person who's collecting that COI, the power to upload it themselves. Because as much as we love technology, and I do, we are always going to have one or two trade partners that just are going to email it to you, right? Maybe they saw you at lunch. They said, hey, I'm going to be sending you an invite. And they kind of laughed and chuckled to themselves. And then they turned around and they emailed you the document just in their email, right?
There's always going to be people who don't want to use, as amazing as technology is, there's always going to be people who are like, I've been doing this for 30 years and I'm not going to change the way I do it. And I'm just going to email you my insurance documents. And if that's the situation, just click
here and upload and then you're going to be lucky that they emailed you, because you got it right then and there. So Scott, let's see. We've got Sarah coming in today. So she says, good afternoon. It must be, oh yeah, she's in Georgia, I believe. So it is already lunchtime for her. And she said she's just getting to join. So thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Oh, Sarah, you missed it. What we do want to know, if you're so inclined or willing, we'd like to know, we already know where you are, because I spoiled that for everybody. So she's in Georgia, but also, what is your costume? What are you going to be for Halloween?
Let us know. So yeah, you could easily, upload a new COI right in there. You could view the COIs as well. I can click and view certificate of insurance. And then I'm going to hop over to, this was kind of a quick rundown of our platform and how we, how this all works here. I'm going to jump on over to our Procore integration, because I have a feeling that a lot of folks use Procore. I mean, I guess it would be helpful for the folks listening in on this if you could just comment like, yes, I do use Procore. No, I don't. That would be helpful. I'd love to get a rundown. But while I wait for the comments, I could just kind of get started. Or do you have any more questions, Maria? Anything else before I switch over?
No, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Awesome. So in Procore, we have a really, really, really robust integration with Procore, right?
Well, actually, you just asked me if I had any more questions. Pause. Why do you have such a robust integration with Procore there? What is that about?
Yeah. Oh, I think there's one more comment.
Oh, here we go.
I said,
Miss Sarah, let's see what she is. She says,
Bride
I love
of
dressing up. Me too. We go all out at our house. I think I'm going to do my Bride of Frankenstein. The kids love to be scared. That's awesome. We love that. And I bet your house looks good too. So you'll have to put some of those pictures out there. People want to see.
I have a 7-month-old back at home, Sarah, and everyone else is listening. And it's just like being such a baby, like it's just been too crazy to get a costume for him. But I want to take a stroll around after he comes back from daycare today and see what treats are in my neighborhood. Maybe I'll put them in the refrigerator until he's 3 or something.
Yeah. Oh, that's so kind of you. I appreciate you. But I'll tell you, it's lovely when you take the kids, because a lot of times they'll say, and here's one for mom, or here's one for dad. Right. And so that's my favorite part. And while we're here, I feel called to tell you all this. I actually have a neighbor down on the main strip of highway, right? People drive by all the time. And this guy or girl, we don't know, has had their Home Depot 10-foot skeleton up all year. Okay. When I'm telling you all year, they put a luau on it for like 4th of July. They did Easter stuff. Like, that guy has been out there all year. So I have really enjoyed that. I love when people decorate their houses. That's awesome.
They don't want to take it down.
Yeah. Well, from what I hear, that 10-foot skeleton's a little expensive. And so perhaps if I had purchased one, I'd want to have it on display all year too.
I feel them. No, that's great. But going back to
Procore, right?
Going back to Procore, yeah. So
Procore.
Why have we developed? Well, we've built a really great relationship with the Procore team. I've been working at Jones for 2.5, coming up on 3 years now, and I've just built a really great relationship with the Procore team, and I love them so much. It's a great piece of software in terms of their ecosystem, right? And like the way that they plug in, they really invest a lot of manpower and energy on like making their system great for integrations, so that we can plug into different areas within their software, different fields, different tabs. And people who use Procore, they're paying for Procore, right? I don't know how much Procore costs. Maybe the people on this call do, but when the company is paying for Procore, they want their team to use Procore and stay in it. And when we do a really great job, as you'll see in a couple of minutes, of making it so that your team could stay in Procore to manage the compliance. There's a few items that they will need to get out of Procore for, like to waive a gap or to leave a team note. But for the most part, you can have your project managers and project admins in Procore doing everything they need with compliance, not having to leave. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's really powerful. So we're talking about, when we purchase something like Procore and it's meant to do so much, then we sure as all get out want to make sure that we're getting our ROI, right? I want every penny that I spent on that platform to make sure that I'm getting some return, because that's part of how we're bridging the gap for our builders, right? Is that we know that we need something like, it's a catastrophic number, right? So many people to enter the construction labor force in the next few years. And so technology is one of those ways that we can really help give our team members that we have now back some time so that they can get onto that next critical task, instead of worrying about, is this trade partner compliant or not?
And Procore is already where people are working. Like companies who have their teams really in Procore, like that's where they stay. They're doing all their work there. They're using it all the time. And the fact that not only Jones, but just the fact that other integration partners and apps, I think there's over 500 integration partners on the Procore app marketplace, and Procore just makes it great for them to just integrate in there and live within the system.
Yeah, that open door policy really does help for innovation.
Sorry, come again.
Oh, the open door policy that
Yeah.
Procore has really helps with innovation. So that's super nice.
Yeah. So I'll get into it. So let's say we have test project blocker, for example, right? We can go to Jones app, an embedded app right here. Sorry, my Procore is going a little slow today.
It's all the people in Chicago. They're all on the internet right now for lunch. That's what they're doing.
So as you can see, the project doesn't exist yet in Jones. So you can literally just click right here and then enter in the information, and it'll be instantly created in Jones. So you don't have to like switch back and forth to Jones to create the projects, right? You can just go right here and enter in, for this project, I want all subcontractors to submit insurance with this certificate holder and this additional insured, and I want to put Karen as the person to, the point of contact, and then boom, it's instantly created in Jones. And in Procore, I'm not going to create it for the purpose of this demo, but I'll switch over to a project that we already have created. So here's the project, people on it. We click on the Jones demo app in Procore, and you can see it's really cool because it's embedded within Procore. So it's a whole interface, a whole layout that that is there for you. So boom, we're in, and we can see right here. Here are all the subcontractors with project level insurance requirements, so that they have permission or they have insurance to work on a project, on the project here. And then here are all the subcontractors with global level insurance requirements, meaning that El Toro Woodworking, for example, they are compliant to work on all the projects on the Procore account. So they're nicely divided over here. And yeah, I guess I'll hop into it. So
yeah, well, before we leave right here, I love that these last two columns I think are maybe my favorite, maybe the last three, right? Okay, last four. I've got my expiration date right there in my face. I can see the status. I can pull the document myself, or I can hop into Jones.
Yeah, exactly.
To tell Margaret that she needs another opportunity, which is fine. I love new opportunities, y'all. I'm just teasing Margaret.
If this is not compliant, West Roofing is not compliant, I could literally just click this button right here, and it takes me right into Jones, where I could tag Margaret and tell her
Margaret, one more time for us, okay?
And I could look at the history. I could see, let's go back. I can click on it and see it's not compliant, and I could override it or waive it, etc. So yeah, this is great. Just being able to open things in Jones. The example before, when you see someone at a meeting and they just give you the documents, you can just click right here and upload it.
Nice.
You can, if you're a project manager working on a project, you can view the certificate of insurance. If you just wanted to see it for whatever reason, it's all there. You can also add a project, right? So you can click here, and just as I showed you before with the Alex Tile example, right? I can click in right over here. I can select my insurance requirements or add insurance requirements. And then I could say, RD contractor, I want to add you to the project. And you can click right here. And then I'm not going to do it for the purpose of this demo, but you can hit right here, and then the subcontractor will literally instantly get an email to submit their insurance documents. And we have a couple of other really great features here. So I guess by show of hands, or feel free to comment, do you use the commitments section in Procore? If you use commitments, so going over here to the commitments section in financial management, I'm sure Maria spends a lot of time in commitments with her clients or her partners, right?
Scott, I almost chimed in and said, this is my favorite module. But it's a really good place. So if you're don't have Procore yet, or maybe you've got Procore, but you're not using the commitments module, you have the commitments module, but you guys are not really doing, sometimes it's in there, sometimes it's not. If you can get your life together with the commitments area in Procore, your life would be greatly increased, right? Your quality of life there. So you see the screen right there. So Scott's got everything up on there, and you can just click and see. I thought on the previous screen it was who's got COI requirements, right? on our commitments log?
Yeah. So it's really cool. So I can see like who has a commitment here, and then let's say out of all these commitments, people committed to work on the projects. Let's say 2 of them have not yet submitted their insurance documents. Then our system, cross verifies with Procore and looks everywhere. And then if we go back to Procore, out of these 8 or 9 commitments, we click this tab over here and we could see here are the 2 contractors, or here are the 2 subcontractors that have not yet submitted their insurance documents. So someone from your team would get an email saying like, hey, new commitment created for GB electrical, whatever. And then you could just go right over here. Like you can literally just check this every day and be like, all right, did we have any new commitments? Because the people who create the commitments are sometimes different than the people who are requesting the COIs. You can just look right in here, click add project COI request. And then like I showed you before, just send them out the request for their insurance documents. You just select it and then you would just click right over there and send it out. So yeah, it makes it really, really easy to not forget, because a lot of times we've heard from our customers before they start using Jones, they create a commitment and then it's like, oh damn, the company, the subcontractor came to the project and forgot to send in their insurance documents. This makes it really simple so that you don't forget to get the insurance before they hit the project.
On site. Yeah.
And then there's you can go back into the Procore integration. So you have that. You also have something really interesting. So, and unfortunately, I was actually talking to the Procore team this morning, and I don't believe it's working right now. This is totally outside of our control. This is a Procore issue, and specifically in the sandbox environment. I don't want to get too technical. It's working for all of our customers, but in our sandbox, it's not working. But you would be able to see a side panel over here. So you can see it on my screen. Like when you go into a commitment, Damon Demolitions, right on the side of the screen, you can see in the company directory, and then in the commitment level, you can see all their compliance information literally on the side of your screen, which is really, really cool. And we recently launched this. And it makes it really easy because, like, let's say a project manager is working with a subcontractor and they're not compliant, right? But they want to see why the subcontractor is not compliant. It's all on the side of their screen right there.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully Procore will be fixing this issue for the sandbox environment shortly. We've alerted to them a lot this morning. And then, like I said, connect with me on LinkedIn or send me an email so we can show it to you more in depth. But yeah, I mean, that's really it for our Procore integration. I know I want to leave some time for Q&A. We have like 12 minutes, but I would love to just kind of go through a deck and show you some of our integrations. Does that sound okay, Maria? Or
yeah, that sounds like a good time for me.
Cool. So this is actually a really great slide because it shows like a certificate of insurance, and like we take it apart, right? And we show what's compliant and what's not. We integrate with a lot of systems, and that's why Contact Financials loves us. That's why different Procore consultants love us, or different just general construction consultants love us, because we make the systems talk to each other. So for example, CMIC, if anyone uses CMIC, feel free to mention it in the comments, right? We make it really simple. We get all that insurance data in CMIC. And it's a very similar integration to Procore, where you can create a new project within CMIC, and then you can add subcontractors to the projects within CMIC. You can add the additional insured information in the certificate holder language onto the projects when you create them in CMIC, and then that'll instantly go into Jones. So you don't have to hop around to 2 different softwares to create the projects. You don't have to hop around to do different softwares to add the subcontractors to the projects, and then everything's in CMIC. So if you want to run your reports and check out everything, it's all in there. I think we have a comment.
We do. I was getting so excited. So here's the Minnie Mouse, our instigator herself. She says, love this deep dive into COIs and some upcoming integration opportunities. So thank you, Jennifer. We love that. And honestly, the integration part is really where I get the most excited, right? So outside of helping our project teams be better, how can we hook up our data to help everybody work better and get some time back to their day?
Yeah, definitely. CMIC is one of our great integrations. Like Maria was saying earlier, can you integrate to more? Yes, we have a great example over here for our Vista Viewpoint integration. This is a quote from Danielle Keene, Senior Contract Administrator from Hulk Construction. Her quote really emphasizes how she's using Jones integrated with Procore and Vista. So she said, quote, integrating Jones with Procore and our accounting software, Viewpoint Vista, has completely changed our internal workflow for the better. This has freed up a significant amount of time. We're able to see subcontractors in compliance, resulting in getting them paid faster within Vista. So Vista, it's very, get all that information in there so that you don't have to, some companies, right, they're checking compliance in whatever software, and then they're manually going into Vista or whatever their accounting software is to compliance. With us, it's automatically. We just push all that information in there, and then you can pay your subs based on compliance.
Yeah, and that's really powerful and exciting for me, because there's a lot of platforms out there when you start looking at them that and I don't know what this is about. I'll have to ask a programmer one day or an engineer, but they choose to only allow one connection, right? So if you choose their platform, and I'm not going to name anybody right now, but there are some companies out there that you can only go to Procore, right? Or only go to the ERP. So you have to pick one platform to connect with. But with Jones, you can go to both.
Exactly. Yep. And we also, it's the same for our Sage 300 integration, right? You could use Sage 300, Procore together. We get all that information pushed into Sage 300, into the accounts payable module. And once again, right, accounting teams, sometimes we have a lot of different teams who come to us with the ask for, or we have, how do I word this? I guess, different people come to Jones for different, at the end of the day, we have the same thing. We're verifying subcontractor insurance,
Sure.
but like accounting teams often come to us where they're like, the pain point for me is that maybe we have someone who's great at reviewing the insurance, but we have to manually enter this into our Sage 300 system just to get the subcontractors paid. I've heard people who are like, it's their Sunday activity, literally on a Sunday, to just manually put things in before using Jones. So
that's funny. That's a good one, because usually the Sunday activity is running crystal reports, which we can also help you get out of. But we don't want anybody having Sunday activities, right? So that day is supposed to be for rest. So if you're doing that sort of thing, take a look around at the environment and technology, and there's probably something out there that can help you.
That's why people like Maria exist. That's why that's why companies like Jones exist. No more Sunday activities.
That's right.
We get the data in there. We review it in under 24 hours. Get the data in there. We integrate with MRI. This isn't a construction software, but I wanted to put it here because it is it's a commercial real estate software. But we integrate with MRI. We integrate with the already other systems as well. And because there are some companies that they do builds and then they also do property management. So I figured it would make sense to, sometimes companies have sister companies, they have one company that uses Procore for all their construction and their sister company uses MRI, etc. And there's a lot of links between those systems. But yeah, we have 5 minutes left. I'd love to open it up to questions, but this has been a great stream, LinkedIn live stream. Not sure what to call it. Maybe call it that. But my email and my name is on the screen, so I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. love to, give you a more official demo. If you want to shoot me an email, I can set that up, and I can open it up to any questions.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's turn off our integration banner. I was so excited. I was actually curious and happy curious to hear you mention Yardi, because Yardi is a relatively, at least to me, new. Well, I hate to say new because it's really been, I always skip a year in my mind. It seems like 2020 is just not there. So I think it's been 2 or 3 years, but it's really been like 4 or 5. So
4 or 5 since
I discovered Yardi, but they're a pretty rad solution as far as being able to provide what everybody needs. And I'm pretty sure they have like invoice reading capabilities, right?
Do you want to hear something crazy, Maria?
Always.
Yardi, to my knowledge, Yardi acquired WeWork.
Oh, really?
Because WeWork, you're familiar with WeWork, right? The co-working space.
Mm-hmm.
They declared bankruptcy, I think, and Yardi acquired.
Juicy.
Don't quote me on it, but they acquired
Sure.
WeWork. I'm like 99% sure. Yardi is a massive company. Yardi's been around for many, many years. I believe they're a privately held company. Don't quote me on that as well. But yeah, they're massive. Not really in the construction space, to my knowledge, but more in the commercial real estate space of managing office buildings and residential buildings and stuff. So
Okay,
we integrate into there to validate vendor and tenant compliance.
Yeah, no, thank you for that, because that's actually one of my secret passions outside of construction and integrations for data is actually, I guess we call these acquisitions, right? And so, and you're going to see a lot of that now just because of where the market is, right? In the past few years, we've seen a lot of it as these companies are out here eating up each other. Sometimes it's because they need that functionality in their platform. Sometimes it's because it's just a good deal, right? Like, hey, we're going to go under, but we've got a pretty good platform. Does anybody want to buy us?
Procore acquired, it was a really big deal. Procore acquired a very big company that did, what was it? It was something with pre-qualification. I forget the name of it. Maybe it was certified payroll.
I do too right now.
I forget the name, but Procore makes acquisitions. A lot of companies, are acquiring others, like big fish eat small fish in this space.
Yeah, they do. But sometimes it's better, and then sometimes it's not. So I think we can all. I guess we should stay away from naming any names. Sorry, the kitty fur made me.
If anyone wants to talk more about company acquisitions, you can add me on LinkedIn. Actually, when I was in college, I created a very small company, and then we had a very small acquisition by like another company. So
nice.
I was in a 2-person company and learned what it was like to be acquired.
Hey, that was a different journey, wasn't it? Yeah. I guess we'll save that for another live stream. You're right.
Add me on LinkedIn.
Yeah. We'll talk about it, but there's lots of good ones out there. So let's head back and see if we've got any questions. I think honestly, maybe it was just that my questions were so rad during the presentation that we may not have any come out spontaneously from the audience, and that's okay. It looks like we did miss a little bit from Sarah, and just because it's the holiday and we're holiday themed today, we're going to go ahead and talk about it. So this is Sarah again. She says, we add something every year, and this year we added a 7-foot butler we have called Lurch. This is really making me happy. He goes off with different sayings when people go by him. More about your Procore integration. So that was earlier. We had missed that one. So I wanted to make sure. But thank you to everybody who took their time out to sit with hopefully you got your sandwich or whatever and were able to actually have your lunch and tune into us. And if you're catching the replay, then we sure appreciate you watching that too.
Yeah, thank you all. Thank you all. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for hosting, Maria. And
for sure. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right. Bye, guys. Happy Halloween.
Bye.